James Twin for the untouchable true school sports. Let's go, baby. Bow!
Be careful what you wish for because it can become a reality.
Yeah. The untouchable True School Sports Empire proudly presents something the boxing games are missing. Hey, what's going on? It's your boy BT, and I came here to talk some boxing with the thousands of True School Sports subscribers. All right, so the year is 2025, and I can't believe I'm sitting here talking about this matchup, but here we are. Guys, I still can't believe I'm saying this, but I really think that Edgar Berlanga versus Gabe Rosado actually makes more sense now than it's ever made. Now, you may be saying, BT, we don't want to. Some of you guys may like that fight. Some of you guys might be saying you don't care. Some of you guys may be saying, yo, we don't want to see that shit, BT. Go somewhere else with that tired ass bullshit. We don't care that it's Puerto Rico versus Puerto Rico or New York Rican versus Philly Rican. We don't care about none of that, BT, and I fully understand that that's how you feel if those are your sentiments. But I like this fight a lot because really and truthfully, Edgar Berlanga, you know, if you look at Edgar Berlanga, right, let's call it right. He had 2 fights at the elite world-class level against Canelo Alvarez and Hamza Shiraz, and he was competitive in neither of them. He didn't over the course of 17 rounds against Canelo and Hamza Shiraz combined, Edgar Berlanga did not show really at all in them 17 rounds that he belonged to the world-class level. So it would be, in my opinion, disingenuous for me to even insinuate that he should fight someone on that world-class level. I know we talked about Caleb Plant in the past. Nope, forget that. I know we talked about other fighters. Nope, forget that. He needs to fight someone that's not on the world-class level. And that would still be entertaining enough of a fight for people to want to be tuned into his career, right? And, you know, I think Gabe Rosado is the guy for the job because, look, I like Gabe Rosado. I got a lot of respect for him. He's a veteran. And I got more respect for Gabe Rosado than a lot of undefeated fighters and even some guys on the pound for pound list because he's fought everyone. He's fought everyone, even so much so that it's been to his own detriment at times. Like there's been times when maybe he should have went an easier route, but that wouldn't be very Gabe Rosado. Gabe Rosado is a warrior. Gabe Rosado is, you know, on this channel, the common theme we talk about is fighters at all levels stepping up to the plate and taking on big challenges. Gabe Rosado has done that throughout the duration of his career. Now, he has lost a lot of times because he didn't have no big amateur background, and he took a lot of fights when he wasn't supposed to, and in some cases didn't have the politics on his side. So he's lost a lot of fights. The majority of the big names on his resume he lost to on paper, but he's actually won some. He's carved out a great legacy for himself in boxing. So I don't think the record is 100% reflective of the caliber of fighter Gabe Rosado is, if that makes sense, right? So that being said, look, Berlanga and Rosado was a fight that's been talked about for a while. I remember even before Berlanga fought Canelo, that was a fight that was discussed. In fact, I remember when Rosado fought Jaime Munguia a couple years ago. That was a fight that was being thrown out there because Gabe Rosado people feel like Gabe Rosado could beat Berlanga, right? So it was easy for Berlanga before the Canelo fight to big time Rosado because Berlanga was the young upstart, undefeated knockout artist Puerto Rican fighter, right? But now, you know, he's lost and he's had 2 PR nightmares, right? And so he needs to be involved in an entertaining fight, and he needs to win that entertaining fight to I think, build himself back up. And that's why I think the Rosado fight makes sense, because the reality is Rosado's 39 years old. He's got a lot of miles on the odometer, so it's going to be a winnable fight for Edgar. Now, I will say this about Edgar. You know, Edgar has, at that world-class level, shown a lack of IQ. Now, Gabe has been on that world-class level, and I think through experience and fighting different styles and being in big fight after big fight after big fight against name after name after name, I feel like Gabe Rosado has gotten better, and his IQ has evolved over the years as well. So the Gabe Rosado let's say like the Gabe Rosado that fought Willie Monroe or even like a Martin Murray, you know, he's a better Gabe Rosado from those fights back in 2017. I thought he beat Daniel Jacobs. I thought he outboxed Daniel Jacobs, and he boxed a disciplined, you know, duration of the fight. So he's shown throughout the years, yes, he can be the knockout puncher like he was against Bekti Melikuziev, but he showed in the Jacobs fight as well that he has the ability to outbox people and box a disciplined 12 rounds. And if he were to come out that against Berlanga, I would actually give him a chance because Berlanga, you know, doesn't seem to have the IQ to deal with certain things in the ring. So Gabe Rosado to me is actually, not only could it be a great event, but it could actually be a great test in the kind of fight he needs to really work on and get his experience up. You know, and on top of that, it's Puerto Rican versus Puerto Rican, a New York Rican versus a Philly Rican, right? And Gabe Rosado said it, as you guys saw in the beginning of this video. He said, look, unlike Edgar Berlanga, you know, he's really got the island behind him. He's really got the Boricuas behind him. So I think it'll be a great atmosphere. I think they're going to talk a whole lot of shit. I think you're going to get a whole lot of clips that go viral on Instagram and Twitter. I think it'll be one of these fights where, you know, when it gets signed at first, you're going to see a lot of boxing fans make fun of Edgar Berlanga for fighting, you know, a 39-year-old Gabe Rosado with 17 losses. You're going to see people make fun of Gabe Rosado for being 39 and still fighting. But listen, those people don't matter because they never try to do anything great in their life, let alone, you know, fight on that world-class level. So whoever's criticizing a guy like Gabe Rosado really just doesn't deserve any respect at all in life. But, like, once they have that first press conference and you see the shit-talking and the hype, I think people are going to get really, really excited. And then when you factor in, if the fight does go to someone like Puerto Rico, and you get a raucous atmosphere in Puerto Rico, I mean, you're talking about not just a fun fight, but a great event. And ultimately, that's what boxing is about. Boxing, at the end of the day, is about it's show, like Frank Bruno said, it's show business with blood. So if you can produce the kind of event that brings a raucous crowd, a great energy, and with a good fight, I mean, that's really all you need. Sometimes I think as boxing fans, we overcomplicate things. We think guys need to always be undefeated or on the pound-for-pound list or this and that. And that's not even true, because sometimes you get fights with guys at that caliber and the event isn't even that great because they don't really have a mouthpiece to talk or sell the fight. And on top of that, they don't even deliver a great fight in the ring. So at the end of the day, a good fight and excitement from the fans is all you need. And I think this fight will deliver that. And, Rosado did say that he got back with his original trainer, Benny Briscoe, who's been in boxing for a long time. And he feels like this is the second win of his career. And so we're going to see, right? If he goes in there and he beats a guy like Berlanga, that puts Rosado and gives him a chance to now have a legitimate comeback in boxing, which, you know, it's possible. I think I would give him a chance against Berlanga. I think Rosado's a smarter fighter than he gets credit for. But nonetheless, guys, what do you guys think? I think the fight makes more sense now than it's ever made in either one of their boxing careers. But what do you guys think? Edgar Berlanga, Gabe Rosado, who you picking? How do you see it? How do you feel about it? Leave your comments down below. Make sure you guys take the time to subscribe. And like I say in every single one of these videos, you can love me or you can hate me, but I'm just a kid from Daniel. So until next time, take care, guys. Thank you for watching another video on the untouchable True School Sports Empire. For more great boxing content just like this, make sure you guys stay tuned and subscribe. You won't be disappointed.